Today we're looking at something from Kiwi Design, how this new design differs from their previous head strap. We've also got a facial interface. You guys are watching Bringhurst VR. Hey guys, this is Dan from the present, and this video is mostly featuring Dan from the past. About a month, there's been an embargo regarding this Kiwi device, which isn't uncommon in this industry, but I'm finally getting ready to release this. But throughout this video, you're going to see me comparing what was and still is their flagship battery head strap against their non-battery counterpart. Obviously, they're not comparable. One is a battery and it's more expensive, and the other is not a battery. But my goal isn't to talk about the value proposition of one over the other. So while I agree it is unhelpful comparing a battery head strap against a non-battery head strap, that's why I'm doing it. It's just what is comfortable and how is this design different from their previous iterations. So this new design is different from the previous one, but first we have to talk about the packaging. It's a little dinged up, but more than that is the box that it came in. It came like this. I think that, God, I got this like a month ago. I'm quite sure it came in a bag this time. They're trying to cut down on shipping costs. And granted, the head strap itself is fine. I mean, it's a sturdy piece of hardware, so it's not a big deal, but it's not pretty. And in lieu of potential RMAs, I think they need to fix that. All the same, this is what we got. Now, I showed some footage here of the unboxing, installing the head strap, and then installing the facial interface that they sent me. Now, I have not tried on this head strap at all yet, so we're going to do that in just a second. But before we do, we're going to talk about how this thing is built and how it differs from the previous model. I mean, aside from the knob, obviously, this is a battery head strap that I previously looked at, and so it comes with that dongle, and that's meant to incorporate the dock that they provide. But this is just the less expensive comfort head strap, and so I think that's why they have the room to put the knob in the back. You know, using a dongle on this is not going to do anything because there's no battery pack to speak of. The reason you would go for something like this, I think, is if you're okay with, what is it, 2.5 hours of gameplay. It installs the exact same way with these notches right here, which honestly, you know, as far as installing this rear pad, it's got a little bit of give to it, which is nice. I like how secure that is. I've always liked that. I think it's pretty well made. The top foam pad is no different. It's just as comfortable. The big difference here is that this new one has a knob similar to that of Bobo VR, maybe. What does the click sound like when you're turning it? Because this, there is no click. It's just kind of a flush. Okay. The previous one, you get that same sound when you're untightening it, but when you're tightening it, which I rather like that sound, honestly. In fact, if you're going to have a knob click, I rather like that sound. I think it sounds, you know, pretty sturdy, pretty well made and reliable, especially when compared to some other head straps that I've tried, which there have been a lot of them. But silence, I mean, I'll take it. This isn't about comfort right now. This is just about how it sounds and how it feels in my hands. I think it feels cheaper without the click. I mean, the click is this nice feedback to tell you that it's tightening, which you'd know putting it on your head. But more than that, let me try this again. Doesn't matter how little I turn it, I get click, a response. It's responsive regardless of the millimeter of turn I implement. And this one, I mean, that must be like an 8-degree turn where it just kind of wobbles left and right without doing anything. It's not tightening or loosening the head strap when I do that. It's just got this wiggle room. If I'm being honest, the knob is aesthetically more pleasing here. I like that it's kind of sunken into the head strap, but it doesn't feel as sturdy as the previous model. The facial interface that they've got, it's soft. It's kind of a plush pleather, I think, with memory foam inside of it. And they've got this gasket here that kind of is meant to fit around your nose and block more light. Okay, so I can tell you right now that the pleather, the plush interface feels really good. It's soft. I'm noticing that already it's, what's the word? The original MetaQuest interface comes with this abrasive kind of foam, which when we first got the headset, I took issue with it. After trying their latex cover for it, I realized that that thing was just, like, sweat would just accumulate on my face, and I didn't like it. You know, I like that this kind of breathes a bit better, and I say that because I'm kind of getting that here with this. It's kind of a water-resistant material, so already I can feel kind of sweat accumulating on my face just from wearing it. And I'm getting fogged lenses right now as we speak. And to be fair, I'm usually using the BoboVR S3 Pro with the fan. And I've taken for granted for the last few months the no fogging. Not to mention that head strap kind of keeps it kind of hovering on your face instead of strapped against your head like this is. But that's going to be a decision for you. I mean, are you a fan of previous Kiwi designs? Are you a fan of, you know, the Elite strap from Meta? I mean, it's all kind of the same general principle. It's just a matter of what's comfortable to you. And if you've been using the Elite strap from Meta, or you're familiar with previous Kiwi builds, then you'll be fine with this. So it really is comfortable. But for me, the lenses are fogging. I think it's been a while, but I'm quite sure I'd have the same problem with the Elite strap from Meta. I think it's just my face. I think I'm a weirdo. But what do you say? Oh my gosh, look at that. I wore that for like 4 minutes. Now, comfort-wise, as far as how it feels on my face, knowing that I prefer the Halo design, how does this compare to their previous build? Honestly, it feels the exact same to me. The knob is obviously different, but as far as, you know, how it fits on your noggin, it's about the same. And what happens if I go back to the original? Let's do that. Hang on a second. Let's put the original interface back on. I'm gonna wear it again. See if I have similar problems with the lens fogging and just how it feels. Okay, now this is with the Meta interface. I am 98% sure that my field of view is wider with the official MetaQuest interface. I'm noticing that already. I feel like I've got more room to see. As far as that previous interface, the nose blocking feature, the flaps, it did block more light, but if I look down, I could still see little slivers of light. I kind of like having the view through my, just under the headset for when I need to do something. And it happens to align perfectly with what I'm seeing and pass through right now. So if I look at my computer, it's right where I expect it to be. The corners are perfect. So having that visual only adds to the pass-through AR experience for me. I rather like it. Yeah, so far my lenses are not fogging. I think that is because of two things. Probably the mesh material from the stock facial interface, and probably that there's air, you know, near my nose, so it's not as closed off. I think that's probably what's happening. That said, when using the BoboVR S3 Pro, if I don't turn on the fan during heavy gameplay, they will start to fog, even with this facial interface. So that's a thing that's going to happen regardless. It's just going to be a matter of taste. I mean, what is it you're looking for? Do you want a Halo strap, or do you want a head strap like this? And if you're a fan of this kind of design, then this is comfortable enough. I personally would not recommend the facial interface. It seems to be doing more harm than good. Because this has those hinges, I can kind of tilt it back like that. But, you know, you have to untighten it to get that kind of degree of turning, I think. Because if it's tight where it needs to be on your head and you try to tilt it up, that's about as far as I can get, which is not nothing. It's okay. But that's about as far as I can get without untightening it additionally from the rear. I can say that this is the price of this head strap. This is the price of the battery head strap. This is the price of a Bobo VR head strap, which is a completely different design with, you know, hot swappable batteries. Hey, this is Dan from the present, and you've been watching Dan from the past. I had access to these products previously, but I forgot to mention in this video the cost of the V3 facial interface. That is going for $32.99, and it includes 2 swappable pads. Additionally, this K4 comfort head strap that they have, I didn't realize it, but it appears as if they're bundling it with a Steam copy of Contractor's Showdown, which all by itself is about 20 bucks. So whatever you think of these products, it's a good deal. Additionally, Kiwi is not paying me to make this video, but I do get a kickback if you guys buy anything from them. So it's not in my best interest to say that these are not my favorite products. You know that I like the Halo design from the Bobo VR S3 Pro. I like the fans. I like how they're the only ones that are really taking a concept and expanding upon it and doing something new that isn't replicated by 200 other drop shippers on Amazon. But all the same, if you buy something from these guys, you'd be supporting my channel. I'll get a small kickback. And there's no denying that bundling it with Contractor Showdown on Steam, it's a cool move. Take it away, past Dan. And so it's going to be a matter of, what do you prefer? What kind of design do you like? And do you need that extra power? You tell me. Let me know in the comments. But that's not all I got to talk about. If you guys are interested in checking out some other accessories, I love haptic devices, and you can check some of those out right here.